सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा हमारा, सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा। हम बुलबुले हैं इसकी, ये गुलसिता हमारा हमारा, सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा हमारा, सारे जहां से अच्छा। पर्वत वो सबसे ऊंचा, हमसाया आसमां का। पर्वत वो सबसे ऊंचा, हमसाया आसमां का। वो संगदरी हमारा, वो पासबा हमारा हमारा, सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा हमारा, सारे जहां से अच्छा। गोदी में खेलती है इसकी हजारों नदियाँ, गोदी में खेलती है इसकी हजारों नदियाँ। गुलशन है जिसके दम से रिश्की जिना हमारा हमारा, सारे जहां से अच्छा, सारे जहां से अच्छा।
India is the largest democracy in the world, with a population of over 1.4 billion people. It is a country rich in religious, linguistic, ethnic, and cultural diversity. The Indian Constitution, created 75 years ago, has played a key role in uniting the nation. It is the highest law of the land and guides our democracy. The Constitution provides the basic legal framework, guarantees fundamental rights, outlines the duties of citizens, and includes the directive principles of the state policies to guide lawmakers. It serves as a shield for vulnerable and backward section of society, offering protection and hope to everyone. The Constitution represents the collective will of the people and emphasizes that the people are supreme. It upholds principles like justice, equality, liberty, fraternity, and individual dignity. These values, along with sovereignty and democracy, must be preserved by all citizens to honor the promise and goals of the Constitution. Our former leaders and great freedom fighters like Qasim Nanatowi, Mahmoud al-Hassan Diobandi, Hussein Ahmad Madani, Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad are very big role models in this way. Their freedom movements and fights was liberating our country from the enemies of our country. Nowadays, our great leaders are making a big effort to free our country from fascist movements. Support them. We also join them for a harmonious India.
हिंदुस्तान हमारा हमारा, सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा। हम बुलबुले हैं इसकी, ये गुलसिता हमारा हमारा, सारे जहां से अच्छा।
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Very respected dignitaries, honor of dais, dear students from ZRB College, students of Divine Education Center, I warm welcome to all of you today. Today is a precious day to us because we are celebrating the 75th Republic Day. India has got Republic in 1950, January 26. Divine Education Center is managed by Divine Education and Charitable Trust, a registered non-profit organization registered on 2019 we started as a premier educational institution, consistently focusing on academic improvements to ensure maximum outcomes. Our pedagogical approach is experiential and student-centric. Our focus includes village level poverty education, uplifting the women and other marginalized sections of the country, and adopting technologies, generating employment and nurturing an affinity to science and scientific innovations. We are committed to research and development in various fields, socio-economic analysis, income and employment generation, and providing training to youth to excel competitive career fields. We also emphasize women's empowerment and aim to cultivate a scientific and empathetic mindset among youth and combat social evils. Now I welcome our beloved chief guest, Abdul Ali bin Bilal Abdul Hayy Hassani, to deliver the Republic Day message. Sir, you please come and deliver the Republic Day message.
Express my gratitude and gratefulness to be given this precious opportunity to express my thoughts and views regarding the important topic of message of humanity and the role of youth to the people of India, to the people of country. Dear brothers, India has got the freedom in 1947 and has got the republic, its republic in 1950. And we have to know that the most powerful representative of the country is its unity and diversity. That is the most powerful and beautiful representative of India across the globe. The world knows us because our unity and cohesion. The world knows us because our rich history, where we helped each other, cooperated each other, and built a society of brotherhood, compassion, lenience, and respect and nobility. That was the distinguished part of India and distinguished part of our rich history, which we have to be proud of. And every single person, every teenager, every youth, whether he is Hindu or Muslim or Sikh or Isai, he belongs to any religion, he belongs to any community, or he belongs to any background, he belongs to any corner of the country, he is southern or northern, he is western or eastern, no matter what, he has to take pride in that. And that is the most distinguished and beautiful part of the country, that we have lived out beautifully and respectively with all nobleness in this country for more than hundreds and hundreds of years. Since we got the freedom, the Britishers came and colonized, and then they came up with a policy And the policy was divide and rule. And a lot of people from across the country, and among them were the Hindus and Muslims and Sikhs and Christians and others as well, who fell into that trap of division, hatred, discrimination, and prejudicial mentality. Since Britishers came into this country and colonized and invaded, there was a mentality which has been developing day by day and which has been increasing since we got the freedom. Because everybody knows after freedom, the country has been partitioned into two parts. One part is Pakistan, the other part is India, and the base of that partition was, religion. We have to accept that. The base of that partition was religion. So, and that was also a plan from the Britishers to divide the country into two parts, to weaken its power and to widen the gaps between Hindus and Muslims. So there is a huge role to play for Muslims and Hindus both to shorten those gaps which have been widening day by day. As we see now, Alhamdulillah, in this particular state in Kerala, there is unity, there is brotherhood, there is love, there is compassion, there is respect to each other, which is so amazing. And I'm so grateful whenever I visit this state. This is my third time actually I'm visiting this state. I feel great and I take pride living among you and staying among you and living out few days of my life among you, because I find here peace, unity, cohesion. I find here respect between Muslims and Hindus and other communities, even the people who belongs to no religion, who are atheists, who are communists. Maulana Ali Mia Sahib used to say, whenever any political personality used to visit him, he used to say that the country is based on 3 pillars and we have to take care of those pillars, because the roof of the country is established on those 4 pillars. Number 1, secularism. What is secularism? Secularism is living out your own faith and let others live their faith. If you are a Muslim, you can practice your own religion. You have to practice your religion. If you are a Muslim, you have to practice your religion respectively with all nobility, and you cannot impose your religion on anybody. That is secularism. If somebody is Hindu, he can practice his deeds, he can practice whatever he believes, and he has to let others also to practice whatever they believe. That is secularism. Secularism is not living in a society on uniform basis. There is no uniformity in this country. The beauty, as I told you, the beauty of this country is the diversity of the country. So we cannot end that diversity, which is the most beautiful and powerful representative of this country. So Maulana Ali Mia Sahib used to say the first pillar is secularism, and the second pillar is democracy. Democracy gives an opportunity and equality to all of us to elect or to select the governance in the state, in the country, in the region. And democracy is also one of those pillars through which we can survive, through which the country can survive. The country where so much diversity exists, where so many communities, so many religions, so many people from different sort of background, from different sort of schools of thought, from different sort of sects, from different sort of, color and complexion, the country can only exist and can only be prolonged respectively when there is secularism and democracy. And the third one is more important, which is non-violence. Non-violence is the base, is the pillar, which is the most basic pillar we can count. If there is violence, if there is oppression against any particular community, the country cannot survive. Maulana Ali Mirza used to give example. If there is a ship and there are so many people in the ship, there are upper class, there is lower class, there is middle class. And the lower class people sometimes need water and they don't have water, so they go to the upper level and they ask them, the upper class, to get them some water. So they deny, the upper class deny, because they are upper class, they don't want to give anything to the lower class or the middle class. So when they come back, water is the importance of life, nobody can deny that. So what do they do? What do they do is, they will hold the ship to get the water from the ocean, and eventually ship will collapse and will be drowned. And then nobody from the upper class or the lower class or the middle class will be survived. Everybody is going to be dying. So this example signifies that the country is unified by different communities, by different religions, by different schools of thought, and we have to respect each other. We have to tolerate, at least we have to tolerate each other. And that is the message of humanity. If there is no message, power cannot impose anything on you. Law and order cannot impose anything on you. It can impose when you are on a street, it can impose when you are in the market, it can impose when you are among the people, but when you are alone in your room, law and order cannot stop you from hatred, from discrimination, from prejudicial mentality. The only thing that can stop us is the right thought, the righteous deed. Abdul Kalam, the former president of India, used to say, the righteousness of an individual leads to the righteousness in the home. And the righteousness in the home leads to the righteousness in the society. And the righteousness in the society leads to the righteousness in the country. So the work begins from an individual. We cannot be impactful in the country if we think that I'm just a one person. What can I do? You can do, so much. Nobody can expect what you can do. You can change the society. First of all, we have to change our individuality. First of all, we have to change the environment of our house, the environment of our state, then the environment of the country. So the responsibility lies to every single person who lives in the country, particularly the youth and the teenagers. And they have to come out. There are a lot of good people. There are a lot of good people in the country. I would say 80% or 90% people, even now, after all those, hate mongers campaign the hatred and discrimination and prejudicial mentality throughout the country, I would say there are still more than 90 people who are good, who are loving, who are compassionate, who are lenient to each other. But the problem is, they don't come out of their houses to express their thoughts and views out of, fear. So we have to convince them to come out of their homes. We cannot live in a bubble. We cannot live in a small house. Maulana Ali Mirza used to say there is a small house that we are living in, which is our house. There is a car, there is a family, our children, a wife. If a wife has a husband, there is a husband, there are parents. It's a beautiful family. But there is a larger perspective. There is a larger house, which is the house of India, which is our country. We have to contribute for that house also, which is our country. And we have to eventually contribute for that small house also, which are our own house. So we have to convince people from across communities, from across the country, whether they belong to Hinduism, whether they belong to Christianity, and whether they belong to the northern parts of the country. I see here in Kerala, people with great skills and potential. But you should not define yourself within the boundaries of Kerala or within the boundaries of your own region. The love, the compassion, the unity, the diversity that you have has to be widespread throughout the country. That is the message that I want to deliver. The responsibility of the people who are living a great example, exemplary life, beautiful life, is not defined within the boundaries of a region. It has to be delivered throughout the country. So Maulana Ali Mia Sahab started this beautiful campaign, beautiful, movement, I would say, in 1974. When the partitions happened, he was thinking that somebody should arise the country on the basis of humanity, on the basis of compassion and love and brotherhood between the religions and communities. And he waited for so long. And then he said that after waiting for more than 2 decades, I found no one who raised the slogan of humanity. The people are talking about religion, the people are talking about hatred, discrimination. Religion does not teach us hatred and discrimination, but the people of politics, the politicians, they misuse the religion. So Maulana Ali Mia Sahab started this campaign in 1974, and so many seminars, intellectual programs, dialogues have been held in different cities. The first campaign, the first seminar was held in Allahabad. Allahabad is a famous city, a historical city, where so many political personalities, the educationists, and the religious people from different religions and from different backgrounds as well, they participated and they encouraged the work of Maulana Ali Mia Sahab alayhi rahmah. And then there were several programs throughout the country. Maybe in Kerala also there have been few programs in northern parts of the country, in Meerut, in Allahabad, and in southern parts of the country. I would say hundreds of programs in the life of Hazrat Maulana Ali Mia Sahab was held successfully. And then he passed away. Maulana Abdullah Sahab came into charge under the supervision of Hazrat Maulana Rabi Sahab. Maulana Abdullah Sahab merged the practical activities also with this work. Because if we are bearing a message, the message of humanity, the message of compassion, the message of non-discrimination, then we have to practicalize our message. We have to deliver the message with the practices. So Maulana Abdullah Sahab merged the practices, included the practices with those dialogue programs, with those seminars and corporate meetings where we can express our thoughts, we can express our views, and eventually we can show them that that's how we have to do our job. It's not just welfare work, but welfare work along with the message of humanity, the message of compassion, the message of lenience towards the society of diversity. So the message was delivered by Maulana Abdullah Sahab, and there were so many activities being included in this impactful campaign, an impactful movement, which is the movement of the message of humanity, which we call Payam-e Insaniyat Forum. So there have been activities in police sector, in jail. There have been activities in education sector where we organize medical camps, blood donation camps, eye checkup camps, and we organize hospital visits, and we organize different sort of activities. We adopt the backward villages where we can provide them stationery, and we visit jails, and we try to bail out the prisoners who cannot afford to bail them out. If their bails around 5,000, 7,000, 8,000, they are so poor they cannot bail them out. So we try to bail them out. And there are other activities as well. Dialogue programs is so important. Dialogue program gives opportunity to the intellectuals of the society to come on the same stage, on the same podium, to express themselves, to express their views and their regards in order to find out the solutions, how we can progress towards, towards a developed country. Developed country can be made on the basis of humanity. If there is no peace in the country, the development can never be occurred. If there is no peace in the country, no tranquility in the country, no love in the country, no unity in the country, hatred cannot develop a progressive country. Hatred can only destroy the country. Hatred can only discriminate the country. It can discriminate the powers also. But the unity and cohesion can unite the powers. And then the powers unite, it transforms greatness. So we organize different sort of activities. We invite you also to this beautiful movement, which was started by Maulana Ali Mia Sahab in 1974. And that's how, as Muslims, I think there are Muslims, a lot of Muslims, mostly Muslims. Maulana Ali Mia Sahab used to say, Allah gave us a responsibility and Allah taught us a divine rule of survival. What is that divine rule of survival? Respectively, survival with respect and dignity. Quran says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فأما الزبد فيذهب جفاء وأما ما ينفع الناس فيمكث في الأرض. As far as the forming of ocean is concerned, it goes in vain. There is no value of foam. You see foam, on the beaches, on the seasides, there is no value of the foam. It just goes in vain. It just vanishes. And then there are people and there are things which can benefit others. Those things and those people are going to survive in this world with respect and dignity and nobility. So if you want to survive in this country as Muslims, respectively, then we have to be beneficial for all the communities. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Khayrun nas man yanfa'un nas." The best people are those who benefit others. We have to be beneficial for each other. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to help every community. He used to help the Muslims, he used to help the non-Muslims, he used to help the polytheists and the pagans of Makkah. After all, they tortured him and his companions throughout their life. But even after that, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to help them out. So that was the character of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We are not reactive. We should not be reactive. Our religion is not a religion of reaction. It is a religion of Allah who gave us the last Sharia and who taught us some divine rules in order to survive respectively. So we have to know the concept which has been explicitly explained in this beautiful verse. And then there is a particular ayah where Allah says, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, invite the people of book to the way of Allah with great wisdom and fair exhaustion, and you try to unite them on a uniform point, on a similar point, and that similar and uniform point back then was Tawheed, the concept of monotheism. But now we analyze the situation of the country, we can conclude that particular similar point does not exist here. So we have to find out a similar point. A similar point now is humanity. And that's what also Maulana Ali Yusuf used to say. We have to catch this similar point. We have to unite people on this similar subject in order to shorten a gap, in order to have conversations and interactions on regular basis. So these are some important points. I don't want to prolong my talk. So first of all, we need to understand that the power of this country exists and lies in the unity, in its unity and cohesion in diversity, and we have to deliver this message to the people of the country, across the country, I would say across the country. Wherever you go, in Kerala or outside Kerala, you have to bear this message, that the unity is the power. If there is no unity, if there is discrimination, then the country cannot progress. The country cannot develop at all. And then the second thing for Muslims, I want to say, as Maulana Ali Mia Sahib used to express, if we want to be survived in this country with respect and dignity, then we have to be beneficial for the people. We have to be beneficial for the people spiritually as well as materialistically. We have to provide them substances. We have to provide them the provisions. We have to provide them the spiritual provisions and the materialistic provisions. And that's how we are going to survive in this country. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فأما الزبد فيذهب جفاء وأما ما ينفع الناس فيمكث في الأرض كذلك يضرب الله الأمثال صدق الله مولانا العظيم.
നമ്മുടെ തിരക്ക് പിടിച്ചൊരു പ്രോഗ്രാമാണ് ഇന്നിവിടെ നടന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്. മൗലാനയ്ക്ക് വളരെ അത്യാവശ്യമായിട്ട് തൊടുപുഴയിൽ മറ്റൊരു പ്രോഗ്രാം അറ്റൻഡ് ചെയ്യാനുണ്ട്. അപ്പം അതുകൊണ്ട് ഇതിൻ്റെ ട്രാൻസ്ലേഷൻ ഇവിടെ വേണ്ടതില്ല എന്നാണ് തോന്നുന്നത്. അത്യാവശ്യം ഓൾമോസ്റ്റ് അതിനെക്കുറിച്ച് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ നമ്മളെ കൊണ്ട് സാധിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. എന്തായാലും വളരെ വാല്യുബിൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ളൊരു ടോക്കാണ് മൗലാന ഇന്നത്തെ ഈ ഒരു പ്രോഗ്രാമിലൂടെ നടത്തിയിട്ടുള്ളത്. താങ്ക് യു മൗലാന ഫോർ valuable words for this റിപ്പബ്ലിക് ഡേ പ്രോഗ്രാം. അപ്പോൾ അടുത്തതായിട്ട് നമുക്കിവിടെ ഒരു പ്രതിജ്ഞ ചെയ്യാനുണ്ട്. മൗലാനയുടെ ഒരു പ്രതിജ്ഞയാണ്. അതിനുവേണ്ടി നമ്മുടെ ശുക്കൂർ ഉസ്താദ് ആ ഒരു പ്രതിജ്ഞ വായിക്കും. അപ്പോൾ എല്ലാവരും അതൊന്ന് ഏറ്റുപറയും. എല്ലാവരും എഴുന്നേറ്റിരിക്കും.
ഈ പ്രതിജ്ഞയുടെ ഒരു പ്രാധാന്യം നമ്മുടെ വിശിഷ്ടാതിഥിയുടെ പിതാവിൻ്റെ പിതാവ് മൗലാന മുഹമ്മദ് ഹാസിന് തയ്യാറാക്കിയതാണ്. ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ സംസാരിച്ചതിൻ്റെ ആകെ ചുരുക്കത്തിൽ വരുന്നുമുണ്ട്. സമുന്നതരും ഉടമസ്ഥനുമായ സ്രഷ്ടാവിൻ്റെ നാമത്തിൽ ഞാൻ ഇപ്രകാരം പ്രതിജ്ഞ ചെയ്യുന്നു. ഞാൻ വിദ്യാർത്ഥിയാണെങ്കിൽ എൻ്റെ ലക്ഷ്യം വൈജ്ഞാനിക പുരോഗതിയും സാമൂഹിക നന്മയും മാനവികതയുടെ സേവനവും ആയിരിക്കും. ഭാവിയിൽ രാജ്യത്തിൻ്റെ നേതൃത്വം ഏറ്റെടുക്കാൻ യോഗ്യതയുള്ള ഒരു ഉത്തമ പൗരനായി തീരുന്നതാണ്. ഞാൻ അക്രമവും നിയമലംഘനവും വർദ്ധിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് എൻ്റെ ആയുസ്സും യുവത്വവും അറിവും യോഗ്യതയും ജനസേവനത്തിന് ചെലവഴിക്കുന്നതാണ്. ഞാനൊരു ജോലിക്കാരനാണെങ്കിൽ എൻ്റെ തത്വം അധ്വാനവും വിശ്വസ്തതയും പൊതുജനങ്ങളുടെ സേവനവുമായിരിക്കും. കൈക്കൂലി, സ്വജനപക്ഷപാതിത്വം, ജോലിയിൽ അലസത, വിശ്വാസവഞ്ചന മുതലായ കാര്യങ്ങളിൽ നിന്നും ഞാൻ അകന്നു കഴിയുന്നതാണ്. ഞാനൊരു വ്യാപാരിയാണെങ്കിൽ പൂഴ്ത്തിവെപ്പ്, കരിഞ്ചന്ത, അന്യായ ലാഭം, പൊതുജനങ്ങളുടെ സാമ്പത്തിക ഉന്മൂലനം പോലുള്ളവ സൂക്ഷിക്കുന്നതാണ്. ഞാനൊരു അധ്യാപകനോ പത്രപ്രവർത്തകനോ സാഹിത്യകാരനോ കവിയോ ആണെങ്കിൽ മനുഷ്യർക്കിടയിൽ സ്നേഹവിശ്വാസങ്ങൾ പ്രചരിപ്പിക്കുന്ന ചിന്താവീക്ഷണങ്ങൾ പ്രചരിപ്പിക്കുന്നതിൽ താല്പര്യം പ്രകടിപ്പിക്കുകയും ആ വഴിയിൽ എൻ്റെ ശേഷി ചെലവഴിക്കുകയും ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ്. മനസ്സിൻ്റെയും സാഹചര്യത്തിൻ്റെയും തെറ്റായ പ്രേരണകൾ, വൈകാരിക പ്രകടനങ്ങൾ, പരസ്പര വെറുപ്പ്, വ്യക്തിഹത്യ, മാനവവിരോധം, സംഹാരശൈലി എന്നിവയിൽ നിന്ന് മകരം പാലിക്കുന്നതാണ്. എന്നെ ഏൽപ്പിക്കപ്പെട്ട കാര്യം എന്തെങ്കിലും സ്ഥാനമാണെങ്കിൽ അതിൻ്റെ പരിധിയിൽ നിൽക്കാനും കർത്തവ്യം നീതിയോടെ നിർവഹിക്കാനും അവകാശികൾക്ക് അവകാശം നൽകാനും ആത്മാർത്ഥമായി പരിശ്രമിക്കുന്നതാണ്. ഞാൻ സമൂഹത്തിലെ ഏത് വിഭാഗവുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട ആളാണെങ്കിലും ഈ രാജ്യത്തെ സ്വദേശമായി കണ്ടുകൊണ്ട് ഇവിടെയുള്ള ഓരോ പൗരനോടും സ്നേഹവും ആദരവും സഹകരണവും സാഹോദര്യവും പുലർത്തുന്നതാണ്. ഈ രാജ്യത്തെ സ്വഭാവ തകർച്ച, മാനവ അധപ്പതനം എന്നിവയിൽ നിന്ന് രക്ഷിക്കുന്നതിന് അഖിലേന്ത്യാ ഖയാമെ ഇൻസാനി ഫോറം നടത്തുന്ന പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങളും പദ്ധതികളുമായി പരിപൂർണ താല്പര്യം പുലർത്തുകയും കഴിവിന്റെ പരമാവധി സഹകരിക്കുകയും ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ്. ജയ് ഹിന്ദ്.
പ്രിയപ്പെട്ടവരെ, നമ്മുടെ ഈ സ്ഥാപനത്തിൻ്റെ ഒരു ഔദ്യോഗിക വെബ്സൈറ്റിൻ്റെ ലോഞ്ചിങ് ഇപ്പോൾ അതിൻ്റെ ഒരു സെറിമണി ഇപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ നടക്കും. ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ഷുക്കൂർ സാഹിബ് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി ക്ഷണിച്ചു. Now this time a ceremony of launching our official website of Divine Education Center. Molana, kindly please enter the start now button.
നമ്മുടെ പ്രോഗ്രാം ഇവിടെ വൈൻഡപ്പ് ചെയ്യുകയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിൽ പങ്കെടുത്ത എല്ലാവർക്കും, കാരണം ഫോസിയയിൽ നിന്നുള്ള അധ്യാപകരും അതുപോലെ മാനേജ്മെൻറ്റും എല്ലാവരും ഇവിടെ പങ്കെടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. നമ്മുടെ ഈ പ്രോഗ്രാമിൽ നിങ്ങളൊക്കെ പങ്കെടുത്തതിലുള്ള വലിയ സന്തോഷം അറിയിക്കുകയാണ്. അല്ലാഹു സുബ്ഹാനഹു വ തആല നമ്മളെ ഒരുമിച്ച് ഉടനെ കബൂൽ ചെയ്യുമാറാകട്ടെ. സുബ്ഹാനക അല്ലാഹുമ്മ വ ബിഹംദിക അഷ്ഹദു അല്ലാ ഇലാഹ ഇല്ലാ അൻത അസ്തഗ്ഫിറുക വ അത്തൂബു ഇലൈക്. അസ്സലാമു അലൈക്കും.